We are live. We are live. We are live. Hello, everyone. RT Bear here, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. Yes, it's been a busy day here. Drawing a little bit, trying to get some eyes on my new campaign, Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. There's the book behind me, and just taking care of business, just taking care of business. So hope everybody's good out there. I got some, I've been meaning to do this for a while, some pics from the new Superman movie. I know that Mike Carlin, who was my editor on Superman, I worked on Superman for a few years, and Mike Carlin posted an image, and it got this whole ball rolling for me, and so then I went down this whole rabbit hole and started looking up some pictures and images and things like that. And it actually there's a few cool shots. I'm not sure if I got that when I found a video that has a bunch of images in it. So I'm going to just kind of use his. I'm going to turn the sound down and then just kind of go through it and talk. And I believe I'm going to have a guest on today. So so I just want to let everybody know that that it's going to be a good time. And let me see, it's 4:18, so I got a couple hours before the Professionals on Andy Smith's channel. So I'm going to be doing that after this. But I just wanted to, wanted to let you guys know I'm here. And then I got a campaign, and I got a buddy, just waiting to come on. I am going to grab my invite. What happened to my link? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. There it is. Oh yeah. There it is. And let me post this bad boy in there. Okay. All right, I think it's done. So I think I'm all ready to go. Hey, Squibs, what's up? Live again on the same day, sweet. Hey, Art, yeah. Like I said early, I said yesterday, I said, you guys are going to see me so much, you're going to get completely sick of me. You're just going to start vomiting. It's Art, like that, something like that. Yeah. Because I have a new campaign. I have Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too, which is cool, and we're going to get a little deeper into that. But I want to show these Superman photos, see what you guys have to say, what you think of them. I have a few thoughts myself, and yeah, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to present my campaign. Let's get some business done up front. So you guys, this is Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too, a lavish hardbound art book showcasing the various creative sides of Art T Bear. That would be me. So, oh shoot, we just got a backer or two. 6,610, 44 backers. We have 59 days left. This actually rounds out the first day. So this is about the time we went live yesterday. So 6,610 is the 24-hour period. So not bad, not bad. Thank you guys for backing. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for the shout outs. I do appreciate it. So here's the cover to Oodles. We got it's 9x12, 60 glossy stock pages, which is cool. Oodles is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate days. There are also condoodles, commissions, create your own IPs, and pop culture visuals galore. Art style has been honed to perfection over 40 years in the comic industry, and viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. So my wife wrote all this lovely stuff, so I could never write anything as cool as that. It seems weird writing it or even reading it about yourself, but there it is. We got a quote, which is more really gushy. good stuff aimed at me. So one of the things is you want to do is you want to let people know that you're a talent to reckon with. So this is a quote by Kevin Nolan, the great Kevin Nolan. Here's some of the interior pages, you guys. This is what you can expect inside the book. So these 2 pages right here, these were not in the first printing. These are brand new pages. So we have pop culture stuff. We got CG stuff. So we got Cyberfrog here, Ethan Van Sciver's creation. We have Manny Summers and Del Keown's Gem Shock. We have Mark Polton and John Malin's Graveyard Shift character Lilith, and then a Mike Mignola ink wash that I did over him on Gigantor. So I love that image, and I wanted to include it in the book. We got some old Cable stuff from 90, is it 92 or 93? I can never remember. So when I was working on that series, when I was penciling, inking, and then we got some creator-owned IP in there. So we got Hit. There's a few others. And then Billy Tucci was nice enough to loan me She for a double-page spread, work in progress. So then we're going to have a bunch of cool prints. We have the pit print, pit print, pit print. You guys keep saying, say it 3 times. I'm not exactly fast at it, but I can do it 3 times. You guys should try it. It's impossible to do. So we got that. That's going to be featured in a couple tiers. We got the Juju commemorative black and white print. So it's been 30 years since black and white originally hit the newsstands. And so this is a big bad from the upcoming series of Volume 3. It's going to be Sins of the Father. That's what we're calling it. And so we got that. We got some other prints. We got set A and we got set B. And those come with a signed and numbered book, you guys. And remember, all the books are signed and numbered. We have the head sketched here. This is a commemorative head sketch. So these will be on the flyleaf. And this is, you can get black or white in their new power suits. Or you can get them both together. We have some commissions. This one has been sold out. So let's go through that quickly. And then we still have a few of these 9x12 head sketches. So that's pretty much the highlights of the campaign, you guys. I'll put the link in the description. Well, the link is in the description. I'll put the link in the chat here. And then we'll show off some Superman stuff. Yeah. So you guys, let me get over here and click this link, put it in there. Boom, baby. It's in there. It's in there. So here we go. Past Master got there first. Here's mine. So click that link, go over and check out the campaign. If you see something you like, back it. This campaign is going to be a short one. So we're going to get this printed up quickly and get it out to you as fast as humanly possible. Oh, we got a few new faces. We got Kevin Thompson. How are you? We got Past Master. We got Pam's Pumps Back. Pumps Back. I recognize that thumbnail. Pumps Back. That's a good one. I like it. I like it. Well, let's see if our guest of honor likes Pumps Back. So, Clint Helinski, what do you think of Pumps Back?
Pumps Back? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm undecided at this juncture.
It's a great name, though, right?
It's something.
It's something, all right.
It evokes a feeling. I'm not sure it's a feeling I'm comfortable with.
Well, we'll leave it at that. We don't need any more details. You know, we're storytellers, so like it's so hard sometimes not to put the details in, right?
Oh yes, you kind of like you leave a little something in the imagination, and your brain starts filling it in yourself.
Yeah. So we're creating Pumps Back characters right now, you guys. It's going to be a new villain in Clint's Pirate
Oh
Queen
yeah,
saga.
that name sounds like it would fit quite easily with some of my storylines.
Or Pum Smith. I don't know what's Pum Smith.
I don't know.
That mean
I'm
something?
trying to share the link out to your YouTube channel, but for some reason it's not letting me on X or Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been people have been saying stuff about my Indiegogo as well.
Yeah,
So I don't know what's going on.
I've had that trouble now where if I go to my Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl page and I just copy that link and then post it on X, it doesn't post it as a link anymore. It just says Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl, but it's not clickable. So yeah, so it's not, the link isn't clickable. So what I've had to do is if you go into your page, into your Indiegogo page, you can create like a short URL kind of link. And what I've been doing is copying and posting that, and that works. So I think X has made some changes.
You know what's weird is yesterday I think Art of Roy was saying even my my links on the Indiegogo page weren't working. I looked into it and I did put the URL. It's all set up.
Yeah.
And it works for me, but apparently he was having some hard times. And I don't know. Some people they're not big on Facebook, but Facebook has been glitching big time as well. So I don't know if there's some kind of shenanigans with the new election coming up, or like algorithms are changing or something,
No
man.
conspiracy theories, but
right off the bat,
Biden's already fucking with our Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah, well, why not? You know what? You know, if you're gonna kick somebody, kick them when they're winning.
Well, and I know
sometimes
it can be browser related too. Like certain browsers like aren't gonna accept certain. Yeah, it's just a big crapshoot. You got to just do the best you can, and hopefully the links get out there.
Yeah, but for somebody like me, my gosh, all I need is a slight glitch, and I'm like all the way back rock bottom. You know what I mean? Like my whole world has been shattered.
Yeah, no,
I'm like in a fetal position on the floor. I'm like,
it's like I figured out how to work it this one way, and if anything goes wrong with that way, I'm back to like just carving images on cave walls and like spearing animals with sharp rocks.
I told my friend Kurt, God, my dear friend, it's probably been a month now since he's passed, but he was my computer guy, right? And so I would always talk to him. I'd say, without you, I would not have a computer. Without you, I would not be in this realm right now. And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, none of this is intuitive. None of this is intuitive. The computer is not intuitive. All these sites, nothing I do is intuitive. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's not tactile. Like if I have I used to be able to install stereos in cars. I used to be able, I'd have the big old like stereo home, theater systems. I used to put those things up. I did everything. I never had a problem. I was in a band. We had amplifiers. We had PA systems. We had all that lighting, but it's all tactile, right? I could do it. I used to repair my own vehicles. I can do this stuff, right? The computers, no, it's something completely different. It's
it probably is because the guys who built the computers are not the type of guys that could work on cars or work on amplifiers or work on it's almost like the two different sides of the brains. So like they've kind of made computers for whatever side of the brain that functions like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I told him, I said, if it wasn't for people like you, the world would not have a computer, because everybody has that person in their life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has that go-to guy that when you get into a problem that you can go to and go, what happened here? And then they talk you through like you're a child. You know what I mean? Like that's not a good product. You know what I mean? Like if you had a blender or anything like that, you wouldn't be working it, because there's too many variables. It's like you said, if this happens, then those tech guys, they know ways around it. They can route you in different directions. But people like us, it's not tactile. I don't know how to troubleshoot any of this stuff, right? So
like
anyways,
even knowing where to start looking, like go into this file and we go down this file, and it's like I have no idea where to start even
right.
looking into that stuff. So yeah,
People go to the toolbar. What the fuck is a toolbar? Go over to the whatever icon. I'm like, where the hell is that?
I'm right with you, Art. I am not too far behind what you're talking about.
Well, just know, Clint, on some level, you're my tech guy. So,
and that's a scary proposition.
It gives me comfort, though.
Like,
so
I know this much.
You know that much more than I do.
Yeah.
What is this? Art likes the Trump a dump or thump. What is that?
Thump a dump.
Thump a dump. I don't know what thump a. You guys are talking a bunch of crazy.
Yeah.
What is this? Spack-a-lackin'?
How much did you enjoy the debate, Art? I don't think we've even talked since the debate.
I wish I could say I enjoyed it.
I guess enjoy is probably the wrong word.
Because
everybody was proven. Everybody who was like see the truth was proven right.
Yeah, I think the validation was good, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, up to that point, you feel like, well, actually, to be honest, I didn't feel like I was taking crazy pills. I knew the guy was gone. He'd gone bye-bye, and he'd been like that for a couple of years. I don't like his policies. There's really nothing about Joe Biden that I do like, even before he went, bye-bye mentally.
Yeah.
So in that instance, or in that case, it was good because it was like the world's now seeing it. There's no spin, even though they're trying to spin it now.
Oh,
there's really no spin in it.
But like literally, there's Democrats, like big time, even like media people that are like not letting them spin it. Like they're like, I saw Jake Tapper, who's as bleeding heart CNN liberal will lie to your face, and he was calling out how they've been deceiving people about Biden's mental acuity, and I'm like, whoa. Like it's like they're in full scramble mode. They're in like, what options do we got? Like there's
because as a reporter you go, I have my integrity, so I could keep lying, or I could say the truth and then hold on to a little bit of integrity.
I don't even think it's that, because that guy doesn't have any integrity. I think it's there's like a part of the party that wants Biden out now, and they see blood in the water, and so they're pushing, because all these people are controlled by higher ups that are whatever. It's like none of this stuff just happens by accident. I don't believe there's any like reporters out there that are like great journalists. Like they're all bought and paid for. So it's like there's a section behind the scene. That is the one thing you need to know on the internet is how to delete your search history.
Well, I have no idea how to do that, so I'm screwed apparently. But yeah, I agree with you, because the thing is, all I could think about is like, I don't give the Democrats any credibility, right? So I'm thinking this debate happened. The reason it happened early, all these things, is because they have a plan B, right? Mm-hmm. So they're gonna put Biden out there. They're gonna let him tank, in front of the world, and then they're going to like throw in, I don't know, the younger, hotter model, and try to win that way. And the only way I can see this is like there's several scenarios I came up with. One is, of course, they get what's his name, Gavin Newsom in there. Yeah. He was even there when at the debate and all that other stuff.
He was saying all the right things, so like
so he can do press right after. And then there's this bullshit. They're so full of shit, man. It is so clear. Like, even before he was saying, Gavin Newsom has been saying this stuff, I called it, asked my wife, that whoever it is, if it's Gavin Newsom or whoever, they're going to be saying, like, if they step in, for a Biden, they're going to go, you know what? this is his presidency. I'm just carrying the baton. You know what I mean?
The baton.
He was a hero, you know, to whatever, and he stood by America and he did right by us. So I'm just going to carry on, you know, Joe Biden, you know, his presidency, and I'm going to do right by him and America. I can already see it. And then Pamela was like, well, what if he dies? I go, if he dies, it's even better. Could you imagine if Joe Biden died tomorrow? Holy shit.
Oh boy. It would be on. It would be on.
It'd be perfect for them because then they have the funeral as a visual, right?
Oh yeah. Oh.
They have all the visual. They have the news. So how do you kick a guy when he's
Joe's family should be testing his food before they serve it.
Well, I after my wife was and we were talking about this, I was saying, you know, Jill Biden, you know, she's going to be slipping that guy. You know, it's like here's your Bosco, Joe. It'll help you sleep forever.
Yeah. Well, no, his family wants him alive. They're in power right now. They're the only ones that want Joe to keep going. And apparently Hunter is like sitting in on cabinet meetings now.
I'll tell you, Jill Biden doesn't give a shit. I don't think she's a wife to that guy. I don't think she's anything.
She might be running the show. She might be running the show behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think she is party. She's part of that cabal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that cabal is almost separate from Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like her slipping him like a Mickey in the Bosco, you know, to help him sleep. I could see her doing that for what she says is or thinks is the greater good of the party. Yeah. This is fun conspiracy stuff, man.
Well, and this is why it's entertaining and kind of enjoyable because this is what Democrats always do. They always self-destruct, and then they always start attacking each other. And it's all the little factions, like they're pretending we all get along. Oh, Biden like can't even finish a sentence, and now everybody knows it. So all right, let's divide into our factions and start attacking each other to see who can like come out on top.
Okay. Darren Wagner says Jill wants him to continue because nobody ever heard of her before now. And as soon as she's not first lady, she will go back to being nothing. But the thing is, think about the short term, though. Her crying over her dead husband at a funeral, you know, all this stuff. She is going to get more than 20 minutes of just serious FaceTime. She's not going to run for office. She's not going to get anything, but this could be a great last hurrah for Jill. So I think it's a win-win for Jill to like just poison, you know, her husband and and move on, you know, find some other guy. I think she still has some looks, you know, I think she could probably trade up, you know, maybe Gavin Newsom, you know.
Gavin Newsom, he'll sleep with anybody's wife, so.
Yeah, he's a whore.
Yeah. No, but it's made for an entertaining, like, I mean, it's a train wreck, but the great thing about train wrecks is they're fun. Well, as long as nobody gets hurt. They're hard to look away from.
Yeah. It's just I think it's David Rubin calls it clown show. It's just, we live in clown world. You know what I mean? Like this is just crazy. Richard Dupe says it. Politics are the oldest soap opera on earth. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. People eat it up. I make fun of it. I don't really care. I'm not that engaged in it. My wife and I do have some pretty serious conversations about this stuff. You know, because I mean. When we moved to Texas, you know, almost 4 years ago, it seemed like the world was our oyster, right? So we came from California to Texas. We had no debt coming here. So everything was left there. Sadly, my daughter too, I wish she'd come out. But anyway, so the first year we were here, everything was so financially doable. It was crazy. Like we could do just about anything and not have to think about, you know, spending stuff like that. So then Trump loses, Biden comes in within like a few years. everything is upside down. I heard like groceries, percentage wise I've heard 20 something percent, and I've heard all the way up to 37% increase in price for just food. For food. That's grocery store. That's not like going out to a restaurant. That's nothing like that. That's, just essentials that you need to survive. How many people can deal with that?
No, that's the thing. Like, people live in, I mean, the majority of Americans live check to check. They work their job, they get their paycheck, they, get groceries, pay their bills. And all of a sudden you got the same job and groceries are 3-4 times more expensive. Gas is a couple dollars more a gallon. You got to drive to work. You got to commute. All these things add up. And I mean, and then you watch the news and you see billions of dollars being shipped over to like the Ukraine and all these wars that weren't happening under Donald Trump's presidency. Like it's not like, I don't know what Democrats' excuse is other than they just absolutely hate Donald Trump with their Trump derangement syndrome. But any person looking at this, what the last 8 years have been, it'd be like, why on earth would anybody want to elect Biden as president again?
Yeah, I like this. What Darren says. Yeah, it's a great time to go on a diet right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I completely agree. I've been listening to these economists and these financial advisors and stuff lately. I find it fascinating. Gold is king. I watched one where it was talking about buying a house in gold, just crazy shit. I heard like if you own your own car or your own house, you don't have to pay insurance. Like there's just like some crazy stuff that I'm like, I'm probably never going to do. But they said if you have enough FU money, you don't have to pay home insurance. So insurance keeps going up every year, it's crazy. And if you own the vehicle, you can kind of change your insurance on your car. You have to have a certain amount of insurance if you
still like liability. So if you hit somebody else, you can cover
so if you don't own it outright, you still have to have whoever owns the lien on it or whatever. But he was talking about that what I think it was in the Biden administration, what they did after COVID is they called it the COVID relief package, right? And that's when we got all of our the paupers got, what was it, like $1,000 or some BS like that. They paid out, and then there was a lot of bailouts, and then there was let's just print some more money, and so he was saying between the bailouts, printing money, and the deficit, it's going to be like this for a long time. He was saying like it isn't going to matter if even Donald Trump gets in. He said it really isn't going to matter because until that stuff gets paid down, it isn't going to affect things much. And so I just started thinking, like, every time I hear spending here, spending there, like you were saying, all I keep thinking is things aren't going to change because until that gets paid down and stop printing money and all that other stuff, it's just going to.
It was the absolute wrong time for a Democratic spend president to take power, because we are with COVID. There was already, government was just pushing money out into people because they couldn't work or whatever.
Right.
And then you tack on top of that a Democratic president who's just going to like spend and then cut any kind of thing that's like bringing money into. So.
How could Joe Biden be? Yeah, how could Joe Biden be talking about like bailing out colleges or college debt right now when they are so much in debt? Like people are losing their homes and stuff like that, and he's like, well, let's bail these guys out. It's like, well, why? I mean, other than scoring some points politically, You
Yeah,
know,
that's all it is. He's buying votes, basically.
yeah, you're spending everybody's money, doing this stuff. So anyway, man,
I was just gonna say we should talk about oodles and doodles. We get off on a tangent.
but you know what? I do like this because I think it helps the people in the chat too, because most of the people feel,
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're going through, and they're going through the same thing. So, I think it's good to get it out in the open. And but let's before we do that, I have a tab for this little book right here. This is Clint's
Yes.
new title. And let me see, where is it? It's right here, baby. So this is Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl, two exotic and erotic warriors from different sides of the galaxy face off for the first time. So you're doing well, my friend. So you
4
want to
days
take
left, people. This is it. This is I extended it once on the 30-day, and so this is the final closeout of the 60-day campaign. So 4 days left. You want to get this book, now is the time to do it. This campaign ends on Sunday, July 7th. Just this weekend, this Sunday, the campaign ends. It's been running for 60 days. All the books are available. If you missed any of the Pirate Queen or Slave Girl books along the way, you can pick them, any or all of them, up as an add-on when you're checking out. This is going to be a full 48-page book. This book actually leads right out of the first Slave Girl book and continues the Pirate Queen storyline when they cross paths here. But this is the epic conclusion to the Pirate Queen saga. 4 books in the series: Pirate Queen 1, 2, Slave Girl 1, and now Slave Girl versus Pirate Queen. So, yep, this is it. If you haven't gotten it, now is the time to get it, because it is going to be gone. And
you got 4 days, you guys. The link is in the description. I do think Past Master put it in the chat as well.
You.
Yeah, so check that out. I do have to say,
the other thing I can show here. Let me grab them quick, Art.
Okay, well, I want to comment on your corner boxes here, like the old kind of Marvel stuff. That's very, very cool. I'm digging that stuff. I also dig the logos. Like, did you come up with these logos?
Yeah, I did all the stuff in Illustrator. So yeah, I have a fun time doing all the trade dress on it. Like I like the old retro, like 70s 80s Marvel look with the corner boxes and the banner. There's a reason I called it Mayhem Comics, because it fit right in the spot for Marvel Comics.
Like Marvel Comics Group, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this book is approved, so there's probably going to be no new. Wait a minute.
Yeah. If you look really closely, it's approved by the comics, but comics is spelled with 3 X's at the end.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
The comics code authority. So
remember when you were a kid and you saw like those like drug comics or like those sexy comics, and they would have like the X's on them and stuff, and you like, what is this about?
I love when I'd be reading like Savage Sword of Conan, and all of a sudden there'd be like a naked chick in the comic. I'm like, oh, holy shit, am I supposed to be reading this?
This is good.
So this is a comic for adult males, definitely. So
yeah.
You appreciate the female form and like a good action-packed sci-fi story, this is gonna click all the bells and whistles for you.
Yeah. So all these covers are fantastic, you guys. You have a variety of covers to choose from.
Yep.
Clint always delivers. The art is always fantastic, sexy. You're going to get some killer girl-on-girl action, which is badass. So you guys, go check that out. So what do you have you wanted to share here?
Well, for people who are like wondering about my last book, Maidens of Mayhem, there was a slight delay, about a month delay at the printer. They had just moved into a new building, a bigger building, to kind of cover their demand. So I had hoped to have everything shipped out before the end of Slave Girl versus Pirate Queen, but that's not quite going to happen. I've got the first 100 backers books shipped out today. As of today, they're in the mail. But yeah, I've got all the Maidens of Mayhem and all the Maidens of Mayhem comics here, and then if you like picked up the retro Blue Bombshell #1, these are the reprints.
Oh wait, there's the tromboner.
Yes. First appearance of the Oops, I'm doing it backwards. First appearance of the tromboner right here. And I broke the book into 224-page comics so they could have 2 covers. So, and kind of give it that fun retro look. So
yeah, those are great.
Oh, my finger's right on her boobs. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, don't hide that.
No, you want to see that.
That's a selling point.
Yeah,
there you go.
Why do my hands keep going towards her boobs?
Why? That's weird, right?
Strange. So all the Maidens of Mayhem comics are in and are being shipped out now. So hopefully, if you back that and are waiting to get it, you know that it's coming now. And Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl will be the next one to ship, but it does end this Sunday. So if you want to get that, or if you missed any of the Pirate Queen books, you can pick them up as an add-on when you're checking out. But definitely make sure to click the link and go check out the Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl campaign before it ends and is gone. So
yeah, I got a quick question before we get into the Superman stuff. What's Clint's next project? That's a good question. It is
going to be so I did Blue Bombshell, the first Blue Bombshell book, about a year and a half ago. There was a Blue Bombshell story in Maidens of Mayhem, but the next project this fall is going to be the all brand new Blue Bombshell book. With a bunch of new characters, a bunch of new villains. Her arch nemesis, Super Tits, is going to show up. Also, Thundercock, who, if you had gotten the Maidens of Mayhem book, you got Thundercock's origin story if you picked up the art book. So I will make some of this stuff available again in the Blue Bombshell campaign, but it's going to be a brand new, all new 48-page Blue Bombshell story with lots of extras in it. So I describe Blue Bombshell as a superhero sex comedy. So that's what it's going to be. That's been my Blue Bombshell's been my most popular character, even bigger than Pirate Queen, really. So it's going to be the new Blue Bombshell story like that. So yeah,
sweet. Yeah. I have another question for you, Clint. Have you used the same printer for all your books? I'm looking for a good printer for my first book.
I have, and this is the first time I've ran. And even with the delay, they were in contact with me the whole time. They had a post on their website explaining that they were moving to a bigger building because they're expanding. They're doing so well. They're expanding. They're going to have new services and everything. But at the same time that they were moving to the new, bigger building, they also got just a ton of orders in that they weren't expecting at the same time. So my books got delayed from printing, I would say 3 weeks to a month. Not terrible, and they kept me updated on everything. And like I said, I did get my books right away. Everything looks great on these books. You can see the print quality on them. I love the way everything looks. I've got an ad for the Slave Girl versus Pirate Queen on the back cover. So, but the name of the company is Comics Wellspring. They also are known as Greco Printing, and Comics Wellspring is a division of them. So if you Google Comics Wellspring, and let me see.
They have those YouTube commercials that pop up every once in a while. I know a bunch of those people that are in that commercial.
Oh, yeah. They use a bunch of indie pros in their stuff, but let's see if I can get this. But yeah, that's not working real good. But yeah, Comics Wellspring, your go-to comic printer. So I've
talked to them. They do a lot of specialty printing. So we're going to look into, because on some of the prints that we're doing, I was thinking of having them embossed like a little gold box around the image.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe having them do it. So we're looking into prices right now, but they're really good. So yeah, you should go check them out. They do a lot of work. But before we go any further, we should get into some of the Superman stuff. So this was the image, Clint. I was going through Facebook, and my old editor, Mike Carlin, had posted this. And so this is somebody snapped this. This is
Oh yes.
on the set of Superman, the new
Yep.
Superman movie. And one of the things, like, I'll tell you right now, you guys, when we were working on these Superman books way back when, before the death of and all that other stuff, there were three or four teams that were so involved with bringing these books to life. And
Yep.
so one of the things that came out of that was the Big Belly Burger. So Clark Kent loved his Big Belly burgers. And so Carlin posted this, and he wrote, another Big Belly Burger franchise is opening in Metropolis in 2025. And then he said, finally, a leaked photo from the Superman set that I can sink my teeth into. Mike's a funny guy. He's a great editor, one of the best editors I've ever worked with. So I think this is a nice little nod to what he put together and what we did on those books. So I'm really proud that some of the legacy is continuing, in different forms. So I was really flattered with this, and apparently Mike was as well. So
yeah,
that started me going down the rabbit hole, and then I started like, well, I'm gonna type in some images and see what comes up. And so let me get rid of this link. And so I found a YouTuber, and he kind of compiled everything, because I don't know if you looked for stuff, Clint, but there's kind of like some images are here and some are there, and I don't like dealing with sites because you got to click on crap and okay or agree with bullshit.
Yeah, I went through Twitter for a lot of it. It is what I will say, the feeling that I'm getting from everything that I've seen. This movie, you could almost just say this is going to be a DCU movie with Superman at the front, because it seems like it is heavily based in comic storylines and having all the multiple characters. And like, besides just being a Superman movie, this is establishing the DC universe as a whole with all the other characters, besides just like the big Justice League members. It is. And the kind of ironic thing is, it seems like a lot of it is based off of Jeff Johns stuff and the New 52 stuff. And so it's kind of weird that now that Jeff has moved on from Warner Brothers and DC movies, they're using a ton of Jeff Johns stuff for the movies.
Yeah. It's weird because like one of the problems I have with comics is repetitive characters, right? So you have this Mr. Terrific, who's basically like, he's like a Batman character, right? He's like supposed to be the smartest guy in the DCU. And I'm like, well, why? He seems like a street level fighter guy. Why is he so smart? And so I was thinking, like, you got Ray Palmer, like you have some characters that are like incredibly intelligent. And if this was Marvel, they wouldn't go, hey, Daredevil's the smartest character in the universe, especially when you already have Batman, who's a street level fighter. At least that's how I always thought of him. And then they say, well, he's the smartest guy in the DCU. So I don't know. I'm not set against Mr. Terrific, but I just think it's strange when you have Batman already in the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, he's a supporting character is basically what I look at it. Like, Guy Gardner, why don't you have Hal Jordan? And then Hawkgirl, why wouldn't you have Hawkman? It's a bunch of supporting characters around Superman, but that also expands the DCU. So it's not just like, I think he's trying to establish the greater universe while still doing a Superman movie. He's trying to do two things at once.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Snyder's was just the Justice League. You didn't really hear about any other superheroes. And, like, to me, this is different than what Marvel did or what Snyder did. This is where Gunn differentiates himself. It seems like he's establishing that there's a whole DCU full of superheroes already. Superman exists in it. This isn't an origin story Superman. This isn't just Superman and the Justice League. This is a complete DC universe full of superheroes, and this is a Superman story. So to me, that's a little different than what Marvel has done, because they slowly built things up. I think Gunn is looking at, all right, we already established Superman, we already established the Justice League. Let's move beyond that and do something else with it. Because
I agree.
A big DC universe on the big screen.
But they're also not like cool DC Universe characters. It's like Mr. Terrific. Like, you know, like, I'm sorry if there's
I get it.
fans out there, but you know, I'm like, do Black Lightning. That's a badder ass character if you're trying to get diversity in there. But the thing is, I'm just hoping that they're not biting off too much than they can chew. And I really would like to see just a really good Superman, story. I think this guy looks the part. He's built. I think the suit is kind of letting him down a little bit. The guy has the body, but the suit doesn't really show it off. He definitely has the stature. Look, that big, man.
I think he's a legitimate like 6'3" or 6'4", so he's a big dude.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I'm a little worried. Like, well, let's establish the DC universe, but with a lot of like secondary and third, level characters, and also in a way that you can't really get into them very well. So like Mr. Terrific, like also like if you get an intelligent character, like, oh, he's the smartest guy in the DCU. Well, I don't like those characters because they always make Superman seem dumb, so they can make those characters seem smart. Like there's one thing that they do with Superman. Superman would be incredibly smart. Like beyond, anything that we could even possibly comprehend. And when I was a kid, that's how he was. Like, he could tear apart a supercomputer, put it back together. He understood all this stuff. He's seen different worlds. Like the dude is not just planet savvy, but like universe savvy. This guy is like, he would be the smartest guy in the universe, with
this Kryptonian heritage and being brought up, and the I'm forgetting the name of it. Something of Solitude. What's the word? Fortress of Solitude. In the Christopher Reeves movies, he had the crystals for being educated on everything. So I'm guessing a Kryptonian education on science and history and physics and stuff is probably a little bit better than, your local high school and what they're giving you. So yeah, Superman should be probably as smart as some of the smartest scientists in the world has. So
yeah, I always had a problem with that. And when in the day when I was working on the books, there was a character. What was his name? Hamilton. I forget his.
Oh yeah, the
old guy with the beard. And so that was like the tech guy. So and he was the intelligent guy, but I think they worked in conjunction. Like, it wasn't like Superman went, how does this work? That type of stuff. Like, Superman would kind of describe something, that guy would build it or whatever. And I remember we did where Superman lost his power, and I think that Hamilton kind of helped him through all that stuff. So, and we got this, which was
that's still just such a terrible first image.
Yeah, and where people were like, oh, well, they're going to digitize the suit and all this. This is heavily photoshopped, and they didn't tighten up the suit.
I think that's the suit. Like, people are thinking they're going to tighten the suit up and CGI it. I think the suit is what the suit is. It's kind of that biker jacket material that doesn't. It kind of is hard, so it folds weird, especially in the abdomen. Now, like, when he's standing straight up with his shoulders back, it looks pretty right. But any kind of leaning forward, any kind of movement around the abdomen, it's going to fold strangely just because of that material. So,
yeah, because it crunches. It has to. It has nowhere to go. It's not really stretching, and it's not form fit. So it's gonna be weird. Like, one of the things I thought was really cool that they did with the first Hellboy is they put Ron Perlman in that bodysuit, but they digitally like fixed where like the folds, like the muscles would kind of not work right, and there'd
Right.
be strange folds and stuff like that. So they digitally augmented all that stuff, and I thought that was a really cool way to go. You know, if you have an actor willing to, put on a suit like that. I was
Right.
just thinking, like, what? I just don't know what they were thinking, because also, because you did hear people talking about, well, they would digitally augment the suit. And my argument to that would be, then why are they even putting him in something like this? Because
Oh yeah, you could just do the little dot matrix thing and CGI the whole thing in after the fact. And
right, and also, they got this guy live on set, out in the sun and shit. That's got to be hotter than hell, man.
oh yeah, I don't think any of these suits. I don't think Cavill's was any cooler than this. Like it was just more skin tight. But I think sitting inside those suits, they're all uncomfortable. I think.
Yeah, they're just sweating their asses off trying to stay cool. So yeah, I thought, like, I remember, like, the first Iron Man, there was a lot of practical, suit stuff with Robert Downey Jr. And
Yeah.
then after that, they were doing, like, well, they would just, CG the suit on
Yeah.
him. And I thought that
like the
was
liquid
smart.
metal suits and stuff. And
Yeah, I thought that was
the
smart,
suits
because
look
that's got to
cooler.
be, yeah, it's got to be hotter than hell in those things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I don't
No
think the tactile or tangible suits really look any better than the digital ones in this day and age. Yeah. Unless it's the Green Lantern suit.
No, the one thing I'll give them credit for, color scheme, they got it right. That's the right, shade of blue. That's the right shade of red. From a distance, it's like, oh, there's Superman. Like you can spot him a mile away.
Yeah, and did you see? I don't know if it's in this, because I found it yesterday and I hadn't seen it prior. But there's a shot of Superman, and he's standing in water, and he's holding like this, like, big panel over his head, and it's from the back view, and the cape is moving.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that cape looks so freaking cool. Like, it looks phony baloney here, but when it was moving, I was like, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah. Now I think in action, like it's not the perfect suit, but I think in action in the movie, I think you'll just gradually, be like, all right, it's good enough. It is what it is, kind of.
Yeah, it'll
from a distance. That looks great right there. Like
there's a little bit of that ab crunch that you were talking about, but you know what? You're completely right, because I remember the first X-Men movie, the Bryan Singer film, and I remember looking at those costumes and stuff, and I was like, this is horrific.
Yeah,
this
the
is
leather, the leather biker coats, the whole leather biker suit.
Yeah, but then, once the movie started and you got into the story and the characters and everything, it kind of transcended the suit.
Yeah.
So if they can make a compelling story and characters, I don't think, I agree with you. I think it's weird for these stills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the baggy boots, though. And I kind of do like the trunks, and they're actual trunks.
The trunks are my biggest problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you look at them, the belt loops actually work. Like,
the belt loops are awesome. I like the belt loops, but it's too high. That belt has to be going over his navel. Like it's so, it's like he's got old man high waisted pants.
It's lucky he's got a long body, but for some reason, I'm usually like you, but I don't know. There's something about the baggy boots and the cape and the trunks that kind of works together. The thing that doesn't work for me is the Superman S. With the stuff. Yeah, the trunks and everything. I know there's a lot of comic book people, like hardcores, that really can't get into that Superman logo.
The old one or the Kingdom Come?
This one here. Yeah, the new one.
So is Alex Ross going to get residuals off of that, since I think he designed it or something?
Are you kidding? Are you kidding, Clint? This is the comic industry you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not going to get squat.
He's not getting squat. Yeah, so I'm trying to move this just so I can use this as stills. But, like, that's a great shot right there. I mean, if that stupid fence wasn't there, that would be really cool. I hope in this slideshow is the him as Clark Kent, because that,
Oh yeah, I can
yeah,
pull that up too in on X.
yeah. If you can find that, just in case it's not here,
The,
I don't know how I feel about that, man.
but the one thing I know exactly what you're talking about, but the one thing it does is it does validate you could have a secret identity as Clark Kent.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
you see that haircut and you do not think Superman. You do not think that guy might be Superman. You think, what the hell is that dork doing with his hair?
And I'm really hoping that Gunn, these supposedly are all James Gunn photographs, by the way, and this is all Cleveland, Ohio. So I guess they're filming now on that. But I'm really hoping that he gets into the just the more humanist aspects of Superman, Clark Kent, that stuff, because I think that's an important aspect to him, like the dual identity. Like a lot of the modern comics, especially Marvel, they just kind of went, well, guess what? There's no secret identity. We're just gonna move forward because it's corny or silly. But I don't think it is corny or silly. I think it really works. And there's a conceit that I always bring up as far as the secret identity. Why would you, even if Clark Kent looked like Superman, why would you ever think Clark Kent was Superman? Like, why would you ever think that Superman had an alter ego? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you think he was Superman all the time?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best arguments, and I do like Chris Reeves, depiction of the dual identity. I thought was really cool. I thought the Tim Burton first Batman with Michael Keaton, I think he did it well, where he kind of made him eccentric and aloof, where he just seemed like he wasn't all that functional as Bruce Wayne, and then he's like this uber functional dude as Batman.
Yeah. And that's where I think maybe I'm being optimistic, but I think Gunn will sink his teeth into that. Like, because I mean, part of the dual identity, like as a screenwriter, as a comic book writer, that's fun. And it's even more fun to play with in the movies, I think, than the comics, because you can do so many visual things and Gunn has a sense of humor about his stuff that he does. Like, he doesn't take anything too seriously. He can have use serious tone, but he has a sense of humor about it. And I mean, when you got the secret identity, that just plays into all kinds of, I mean, Christopher Reeves, all of his Superman stuff, there was a real tongue-in-cheek lightheartedness to the dual identity stuff. So
one of my favorite scenes is when he is Clark Kent and that guy in the alley is going to shoot Lois, and he catches the bullet, but he's still in character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then there's that little nod where he opens his hand and he's got the bullet, and then he just kind of smiles, like he feels, it makes him feel good that he saved her life. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so,
and that's
perfect.
That's where Christopher Reeves was magic. That was him being Superman more than him in the suit. Like that little look that he would give. He's all disheveled and he like stumbles over on accident, but he caught the bullet and he gives that little wry smile. And it's like, Christopher Reeves is still the best by far.
Yeah. And this guy looks like the comic book version of Superman.
He's got the look.
Go back to what you said with just the colors. They're so brave, man. I mean, to do colors like this. Usually Hollywood tries to hide it. They're like, well, it's too corny, it's whatever. Like, no, this is cool, man. Embrace it, put it out there. And look at that jawline, look at the shape of the face and everything. It's perfect, man. He is.
Him and Cavill, I mean, they look like each other, but they both look like Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let me find, this is like we were talking about, the heat of the suit. So they're probably keeping that guy in shade.
Well, look at how much taller he is than everybody else too. Like that presents itself when you've got a legitimate 6'3", 6'4" actor on stage. Like, that's gonna just have presence towards the other people that are in the scenes with him. So
yeah. And then like even the scenes where he's in there with that Mr. Terrific actor, he still he's well above him. Here you go, right
Oh,
here. Look at that.
Let's see.
That's
Oh yeah,
perfect.
he's like a good. He's at least 4 or 5 inches taller than him.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I like that. I like the Mr. Terrific suit. I think it works. It's
Yeah,
very
I think
comic.
he'll be fine. He'll be an interesting character to see. And I don't think, like I said, I think all these guys are supporting role characters. It's going to be a Superman movie, but this is like literally like if you look at Superman movies, or Superman comics, he's always involved with the rest of the DCU. Like other characters show up,
Yeah.
establishing that it's not just a universe with one superhero in it. Like I think that's going to be the most interesting thing, that we don't have to start out with an origin story, that everything is already established. Superman is Superman. Clark Kent works at the Daily Planet. Lois Lane. The having is that when nobody knows yet, does Lois know that he's Clark yet, or is this going back to? Are they going to go with she knows now because of the Snyderverse stuff?
Yeah, I'm really hoping because I had a conversation with Mike Carlin, and we actually saw the first Snyder Superman together at a DC screening,
Oh,
and
cool.
he said it's about time Lois figured out who Clark,
Right.
that Clark is Superman, because it makes her look stupid.
Yeah.
But like I said, I still would like them to try to play up that. Why would she ever even think that, Clark Kent or Superman had an alter ego?
Yeah.
I think I would like them to play with that idea, still have her figure it out, but have her play with that idea.
Yeah.
And then maybe so that she does some reporter detective work and then finds a clue, follows that thread, and then it leads to him. You know what I mean? Versus just like, oh, visually, oh, he looks like, like all that shortcut crap. Don't do that. Like, make it part of the story. Make it like
story-wise, you can have a lot of fun with Lois discovering that Clark is Superman if you want to do it.
Yeah, I think it's great, and it's also very relationship oriented, and it's a way to get those two characters working together or in scenes together. You know what I mean? That's always difficult because if they don't have a relationship, and it's not like Lois is a damsel in distress and Superman has to save her all the time, then you have to invent a reason for them to be, in the same scene together.
And just because Lois knew Clark was Superman in the Snyderverse, this movie I don't think is beholden to any of the Snyderverse stuff. I think they can like establish their own storyline. So yeah, that's a great shot of Clark and Lois.
Yeah, and there's a Clay Mann or Man cover that he did on one of the action books I did, and Lois had like a purple sweater like that. And I'm like, wow, like if that isn't a nod, because it's such a, I don't know, it's purple. You know what I mean? Like
they looked the part. They looked the part for sure. They did great casting.
Yeah, and she's a really good actor. She's got comedic chops, and yeah, and look at the size difference. That's freaking nuts, man.
Yeah, I think he's taller than Cavill was too.
Yeah,
if Gunn can come through with a good story, and I mean, there's a ton of elements. Like there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. Just how many pictures have been leaked now? They've got set pics everywhere. There's a lot of stuff going on that were like people are like, well, who's this character? Who's this character?
Yeah, so, this is my favorite shot that Gunn took. Like, look at her gesture. Yeah, and she's just like checking him out, and
Lois is definitely checking him out.
Yeah, and then he's kind of like looking aloof, like, I'm Superman. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I just like the gesture too, because like there's something about like certain actresses, like just the way they stand. Like it's not overly sexy, but it's kind of a fun. And this is like, I don't think the camera's rolling. It could be. Because it looks like there's some smoke and like some of these guys in the background are moving, but just very, very cool. Like what is that Minnie Driver? Like to me, like she's like the perfect girlfriend. Like that's the girlfriend you would want, especially in Grosse Pointe Blank.
Oh,
because
right.
she's not overly pretty. She's pretty enough, but she's just like a cool person,
Yeah,
somebody you want to hang out
personality-wise
with.
comes across.
Yeah, and I think this actress will be that in the
Yeah,
movie. I'm hoping, anyways, because she definitely has the chops.
yeah. I think if Gunn's got the story, everything I've seen from these clips, while maybe not everything is just perfect, I think it still leads to a good Superman movie you can be excited about.
Yeah, and just like a lot of just them laughing and smiling on the set
Oh
is a
yeah.
lot different than that crass crap that was in the
Yeah,
Snyder.
these are great images. Like this makes me want to go see this movie. Just the two of them smiling, having fun, and yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, like you said, like the story will come through. And what gets me a little nervous is just introducing too much of the DC universe, because I mean, let's face it, there's only so much time. Like, these are 2-hour adventures, so you got to get it in in
Yeah,
a very concise way. And the thing is, I don't like modern films because they're not very. A lot of times they're not beholden to the 2-hour time.
right.
And the thing is, you can feel it. And I'm not saying like oh, it feels like 2.5 hours. I mean, they're not really. What I'm trying to say is they're not maximizing the time. Like,
Yeah,
they could have told the story in 2 hours. They didn't have
yeah,
to tell it in 2.5 hours. And if they would have tightened it up into that 2 hour, it would have been a better movie. Like, I
yeah,
saw The Fall Guy. Pamela and I saw The Fall Guy, and that movie, man, if they would have tightened it up in editing, like took 20 minutes out of that film, it would have been a really good movie. But
Oh,
as it
really?
was, it just kind of dragged and dragged.
Oh, okay.
And so that's one of the things I notice about like a lot of the more modern films is they're not necessarily as beholden to the time.
Yeah.
So
You
they
want
they
your
go
movie to be preferably under 2 hours.
exactly. Yeah. I like The Mask. I always like the comic book version as well.
Yeah, the
Uh,
character design. He looks cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm interested to see. Well, and we haven't seen any of the Green Lantern or Hawk Girl stuff yet either. So I'm really, I'm. It'll be interesting to see what they do with all of this stuff.
yeah, Hawkgirl looks the part, and they got what is that guy from Castle to play?
Nathan Fillion's playing Guy Gardner, who's
Yeah,
like him and Gunn go way back.
yeah, I
The
think
girl
that'll.
who's actually the girl who's playing Cat Grant in the for the Daily Planet is actually Nathan Fillion's ex fiance.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she is
that'll
good. The
that'll
good
work.
looking girl. That picture of her was, and like I saw that picture of her, and I knew they're gonna do like that scene where is Jeff Johns writing
With the
Superman.
donut.
Yeah, and was it Gary Frank?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
exactly. Like
Yeah,
I saw her look for Cat Grant, and I'm like, oh, like they're gonna take this right out of Gary Frank, Jeff Johns Superman. Some of this stuff is gonna be taken. So,
that was a good run, actually.
oh,
That
it
was
was beautiful run, and Gary
And
Frank
they got
drawing Christopher Reeves was great.
yeah, they got Holt. I forget his first name to play
Oh,
Luthor.
Lex. Yep.
I forget the actor's name, but he's
Nicholas Holt.
Nicholas Holt. Yeah,
Yep.
he's really good. But the
He's been
thing
great in a
is,
lot of stuff.
yeah, and he's good in everything.
Yep.
But I'm kind of sick of the Luthor thing. Like they're like, well, we're not going to tell the Superman origin. Well, that's good. That's a move in the right direction. But can we have a different villain?
Yeah, with Superman, it's like Luthor is kind of. I mean, it's Joker and Batman. It's like there's been multiple Jokers. There's multiple Luthors. I would actually like them to establish a new Luthor because I hated Jesse Eisenberg. Is that his name?
Yeah, he was so
I
bad.
hated him as his portrayal of Luthor in the Snyderverse one so bad that like I'm hoping this will just kind of cleanse out that memory of that.
Definitely.
Little mouthwash for the
think this,
brain.
yeah, this guy is Perry White.
That's Barry White. Yep.
The
Oh
cool
yeah.
thing is he's got the cigar. Like they
Yeah.
kept the cigar, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you get like one shot of each of the Daily Planet people coming out of the ship, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that that shot that we were talking about Superman, if it's like, it looks like it could be a piece of this shuttle or whatever the heck this thing
Yeah,
is.
something lands in the city, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then here's some of like just the epic, like the damage that they're bringing to this poor,
Giant piles of dirt.
Ohio
Yeah.
city. You can see Superman over there, like where they were, and actually that Mr. Terrific's over there as well. The left side, like the upper left corner.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's where most of those pictures were taken. I don't see that ship though in this scene, so it must be out of frame.
Yeah, I'm guessing they have like for close-ups, they have a piece of the ship, and the rest of it they'll just CGI in or something, just like
Yeah.
budget low.
And one thing, I understand like going into real locations and filming, but I think the Marvel Universe did it real well. But what I'd like to see filmmakers do is create these environments. Like one of my favorite things about the Tim Burton Batman was that there was Gotham City. Like that was a character that was unique. It was all original. They weren't really filming on location anywhere. So I really like that. And so I'm hoping that they can make Metropolis a little bit of the city of tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like have some futuristic aspects to it.
Give it that its own feeling, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't just look like, downtown, Cleveland or wherever.
Yeah. But no,
So
it all looks super promising. I like what I've seen. There are things I'll nitpick and stuff, but like this looks like a more bright superhero-y action adventure type of movie, not all the gloom and doom of Snyder's crap. Not everything having to be so like I think Snyder's biggest mistake was trying to who did the Batman Returns movies?
Tim Burton?
No, I'm forgetting his name. With Bane and with
the Nolan stuff.
Yeah, that to me, Zack Snyder was trying to be an imitation of Christopher Nolan, like give it this real world seriousness to superheroes, make people take him serious. And like that's fine, especially in Batman, you can get away with that, but it doesn't work with all superhero stuff. And like superheroes are supposed to be fun. Like I think this is Gunn trying to bring back some of the fun that superheroes are supposed to be to the DC universe. So
yeah,
I like that aspect of what he's bringing.
Yeah, and one of the original pitches with Siegel and Schuster was that it was action adventure sci-fi humor.
Yeah,
like that was what Superman was. And so one of the things that they kind of deviated from was the humor aspects.
Yeah, definitely. Here, or I don't know how long you want to go, but I probably got to cut out in about like 15
Yeah, I was going to say we got through the Superman stuff, so I thought
Doodles of Doodles because I want to see more of that art.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, so let me touch base with everybody in the chat, see if there's any cool insight. Yeah, Art was right. That second Dune was too long. Yeah. Okay. Any Clark Kent pictures? Oh, did you find that Clark Kent picture?
I looked a couple times now on Twitter and just Corn Sweat as Clark, but I saw it a couple days ago, but I haven't been able to find it again. But what apparently what that hairstyle is called, it's called the broccoli. And like if you're like a 20-something like TikTok influencer, that's what all these kids their hairstyle is now, that curly perm hanging over their bangs.
Yeah.
So apparently that's a young person. Oh, here, I did find it. Let me see.
It's a little, what I heard somebody say, like one of the like boy band type haircuts.
Oh, totally boy band. It's like if you're like a teenage girl, these are the guys. Yeah, here we go. I'm sharing it right now. All right.
Okay, hold on.
It looks like a poodle.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah,
looks like
that's
the
the
poodle
image.
sat on his forehead. But
Yeah.
I get that if this is what the 20 somethings are all doing, it's like, you know, there's always those eras of silly haircuts that guys wear to try and get
Yeah.
girls interested in them. So
And also, like you said, it does disguise him a little bit
you
more.
look at that, it does not look like Superman.
Yeah, there's no Superman there at all. So very cool. So yeah, so I am going to do some oodling and some doodling and some sharing here with you guys. So this is the reason for the season. This is the new campaign. We're 24 hours into this bad boy so far. So we're at 6,610.
Nice.
It would be great to get this bad boy to 7K by the end of the day. That's 44 backers. Thank you guys so very much for supporting this. And yeah, here is the book. This is the cover. So this is an alternate version of Whitney Sung, aka White, doing some damage to those bots. It's going to be a 9x12, a 60-page glossy stock book. So Oodles of Doodles is filled with images that come from Arts, Marvel, DC, Image Comics, and CG, Comicsgate Days. There are also condoodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture visuals galore. Art style has been honed to perfection over 40 years in the comics industry and viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. So yes, this is a compilation of, it could be like a love letter to the industry, if you will.
There you go.
And so we got a quote from a living legend. So this is from Kevin Nolan. I've been jealous of Art's inking for many years. He really makes beautiful lines. If you isolate them and disregard the context, they are still graceful and elegant. But he's not just an inker, he draws beautifully as well. I think that might explain half of the secret to his success. If he puts a shadow under the nose or adds texture, he's sensitive to the underlying structure, so he doesn't make the mistakes you're likely to see from an inker who just traces the pencils. The other half, I have no idea. I've tried to make lines as elegant as his, and I fail every time. Kevin Nolan, thank you so much, Kevin, for that.
That was nice. That's a pretty cool. That's right there. That's pretty cool, especially from somebody, an artist like Kevin Nolan. Those are some nice words to hear about yourself.
Yeah, big time influence as well.
Yeah.
And so I got this con doodle from him. So we did a show together. I think it was a Smallville con. So sometimes it gets a little slow, especially on Sunday. So I drew this. I was just drawing. So I drew this Batman image. And so then I noticed he wasn't doing anything. I said, would you mind, inking this up? I had no ulterior motives. I just kind of wanted something from Kevin.
Sure.
And so I offered to pay him, and he said no. And so he inked this bad boy up. And so it just kind of worked out. I got the quote, and I got this piece of artwork. So thank you so much, Kevin Nolan. I know we complain a lot about the industry and stuff, but there really are some amazing,
genuinely great guys in the industry.
Yeah.
You hear more about the jerks just because of loudmouths and whatever, but there are more really good people in comics than the few that you hear bad things.
Yeah. It's like that saying, one bad apple. But yeah, so this is there's going to be new pages to this. So even if you because this is the second printing, so even if you guys have the original Oodles of Doodles, this is going to be a second printed version, like new version of the book. So there's going to be a lot of new artwork. There's going to be a lot of new pages. And so each one of these pages is a double page, so you can see the images really big. So that was the whole point. So there's pop culture stuff. There's the Captain Kirk.
I love that Captain Kirk. That is an amazing drawing of Kirk there. That is so good.
Yeah, thank you. And then, I got Mandy Summers and Del Keown's Gem Shock in there. I got Ethan Van Sciver's Cyber Frog. I got John Malin's, what is it? Lilith, I think, from Graveyard
Shift.
And then just out of fun, I did these, like Mike Mignola was penciling like some pop culture stuff. So he did this Gigantor drawing. And I was like, I'm going to ink that thing. So I did it on a live stream actually some years ago, and I did this ink wash, and it really came out good. So I thought, well, I'm going to put that in this book as well. And so I got some images from my Marvel days working on Cable. So we got that, and then some create your own IP stuff. This was a pitch for Adult Swim and Spike TV. Very racy, very un-PC. And so then Billy Tucci said I could use this. So thank you, Billy Tucci. So this is a work in progress she image that I put together here, and that's a double page as well. So this stuff, the book is big, so it's a coffee table sized book. So all these images are going to be not quite actual size, but close to it, like this image right here. So this is a pit print. Say it fast 3 times. You can't do it. That's the running joke. So we got that. Thank you, Dell, for letting me use that. And we got the 30th anniversary black and white Juju print. So this is the character that we used in the ongoing series in '95. And so I thought I'd bring her back for the new series. So Black and White Volume 3, Sins of the Father, is going to have Juju as the big bad. So 30 years ago, Image Comics published the original Black and White. So this is the 30th anniversary of the book. And also, Volume 3 will come out in October of this year, which will be the same month that the original book came out. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of, like, this is just the tip of the iceberg of all the celebratory stuff we're going to do. And then so I got the different prints. We got the set A with 3 mini prints plus the book. The book is signed and numbered, you guys. We got the B books or the B book with the prints. That came out wrong. The B set of prints with the book. Yeah. I've been talking all day. The head sketched here. So this is also commemorative. So this is the new suits. This is the new power suits that they'll be wearing for the new series, for the new, cool. It's going to be volume 3 and volume 4. So I'll be drawing these on the fly leaf. And so we do have some commissions. This one sold almost instantly.
Oh, I bet.
So I got to put another one up, possibly. And then I have the original 9x12 head sketches that I'm going to be offering. And I think there's only 5, you guys. So a lot of the drawing tiers are very, very limited. So I thank you guys for all the support. All the backers, you guys are the best. And let's see if we can get this thing to 7K by the end of the day. I know it's a lofty goal, but you got to have goals. You got to work towards something. So again, you guys, thanks. And yeah, let's wrap this bad boy up. So we have your book, which is 4 days out, which is Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl. Just badassery, sexy badassery. So that link is in the description, you guys. Let me see. I don't have your link, but I might have mine. So I just put the link in the chat, you guys. Okay. I think Past Master's been putting, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Past Master Dan's had in the chat.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, thank you, Past Master Dan. You're awesome. You are the best. Gigantor was my jam. Oh my gosh, as a kid, man. It was mine as well. So yeah, you guys, give this a thumbs up on the way out. If you haven't liked or if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Clint's got a channel as well, so go subscribe to his. We got a show called Pontificators, which is every Wednesday, and so we'll be hanging out with you guys tomorrow night at what is it? Is it 8 Eastern Standard Time? I think we go live
usually,
and we just talk pop culture to death. It's a fun show. We usually just have a blast, and you're all welcome to hang out with us. So we got that, and in a short well, actually very, very soon, I think 15 minutes, I'm going to be on the Professional. So that's Andy
cool.
Smith. That's Andy Smith's channel. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about, but it'll be something cool, I'm sure. And so I'll see you guys later on Andy Smith's channel. And thank you so much, Clint, for coming in, hanging out. This was fun.
Always.
Yeah, and the book looks great. The new book looks great.
Thank you.
And Clint always delivers. So go back that book, and while you're at it, back Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. So take care, you guys. Be good to each other, and I'll